Welcome in, guys. I'm Noah, and as always, I'm joined by Brandon and Darren, and we are the BenchWarmers. So right now we're going to be going over our Bengals offseason report. Let's start off with their draft picks. They got Jonah Williams in the draft, offensive tackle out of Alabama, to shore up that offensive line. I think their main goal is to focus on the running game because, let's be honest, Andy Dalton isn't really the answer. I was wondering, did you guys think they should have went with a quarterback in this draft, or do you think Andy Dalton can do anything for this team?
In the playoffs, no. But I think he can get them through this season, and with the quarterback that they drafted later in the draft, maybe have him come in, split some time maybe, I don't know. But next season, move away from Andy Dalton because he's definitely not the answer. And then in the second round, they ended up drafting a tight end, a blocking tight end. That was an interesting draft pick, Drew Sample.
Yeah, he was a fourth rounder on my board.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know about that one. And Jonah Williams, who I think is a good offensive lineman.
Definitely.
He does have some shorter arms.
Yeah.
So that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for tackle.
Yeah.
But still, I think they did all right in the draft.
Yeah, they did good. I think the biggest thing I am concerned about with the Bengals is not really their talent on their team, because they got some talent on their team. AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, you got Joe Mixon. I mean, they got some talent on the offense. It's the defense that worries me. They really don't have an answer at linebacker, even with Vontaze Burfict there. Like, they didn't have one. Now he's moved on to the Raiders. They really have nobody at linebacker, so I'm not sure what their plan is on defense. Brandon, do you have anything to add for the Bengals?
I do. So about the running game, how you said they picked up Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma. I think that's a pretty decent pickup for him.
And they already have Joe Mixon.
Yeah, they have Joe Mixon too, but also he can go right under him and learn some stuff from him for whenever Joe Mixon's ready to go.
Yeah, it's definitely good because Joe Mixon has had some injury problems in the past. So.
They picked up another running back. I'm not really sure why they did it, to be honest, but they picked up I don't even know. Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Williams. Yeah. So they got running back help behind them. The quarterback situation, they've got Ryan Finley. They picked him up out of NC State. I thought that was a pretty decent pickup. I don't really know.
I mean, Andy Dalton got hurt last year, and they didn't really have a viable backup. So getting a young quarterback in there definitely isn't the worst thing in the world.
And possibly a
replacement.
Yep. So, I mean, overall, they didn't do too bad in the draft. They definitely didn't get anyone that really stands out besides Jonah Williams. That's about really the only thing that stood out to me.
Yeah.
Tight end-wise, the tight end was, I mean, it was decent, but I think what the problem with them, why they picked up Drew Sample so early, is because they saw all the tight ends were going pretty quickly, honestly. Mm-hmm. So I think that was still a pretty good pickup for them. Other than that, I don't really know anything otherwise.
The problem with the Bengals is not just with their team, it's also they're in a really stacked division with the Steelers, the Browns, and the Ravens. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for them to even make the playoffs, and even if they do make the playoffs, we know the Bengals' history in the playoffs. But they got a new coach, so he might be able to, I don't know, change the culture in that locker room. But I think with Andy Dalton as your quarterback, you're probably not going to get that far. All right, big final question. Where do they land in the division?
Last place.
Last place.
No hesitation.
No, just the Ravens are too good, the Steelers are too good, and the Browns are too good. So there's just no chance unless they have another surprising season and then choke in the playoffs.
But I think that just a few years ago we were talking about the Bengals beating out the Browns.
Yeah, for real. And then the Browns just had the fastest rebuild I've ever seen in my entire life. In one offseason, they became monsters, but it's fine. No, but yeah, last place for the Bengals seems pretty safe.
Yeah.
So, I think that's all we have on the Bengals today. That's been the Bengals offseason report. This has been the BenchWarmers, guys.
Deuces.